Good evening, everyone. Welcome back after a really long break. And I know we're all eager to continue where we left off with our body. And today is the last of it, and that is the face chakras. Right? Face. What does it represent to all of us? It is that part of our body which decides how to connect with others. It decides how we perceive things. It decides what others can see in us or not see in us. It can make you rebel if you watch something which is not pleasing to your own perception. It can make people think that you're arrogant. It can make people think you're aloof and not concentrating. It can also give a feeling of warmth, faith, trust, and so many other things. And all this is reflected first in our face and then, of course, in our body language. Correct? So what is it that we do? What is it that we take care of? And what is it that does not allow us to move forward in case of certain situations? Just give me a minute. I have to just check something. Yes. All right. So sometimes have you noticed that when you dress up or you dress up your child, somebody might say, "Itna sundar mat banao, nazar lag jayegi." Or you yourself want to play down if somebody pays you a compliment because you're afraid that it might affect you, especially if it's coming from a person who you are not very fond of or you are a little judgmental about. These are the same, the same face and the same eyes that perceive. And we have expectations based on which we make judgments. That's because whatever we see is what decides what is good for us or not good for us. So there are many aspects of the face. We also, reflect all our fears, our insecurities, our tensions, our stresses. It is such a volatile part of your body. And whatever is seen on the face is then expressed and manifested in all our chakras inside various parts of our body. So let's do a cleansing or an effort to cleanse the chakras today, the face chakras, and let's see how we feel after that. When you can comment on it and let me know how the movie goes. Okay, so close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in love, faith, integrity, joy and happiness. And breathe out all those insecurities, stresses, worries, frustrations, doubts. Breathe in positive energy and breathe out all those frequencies and vibrations that do not resonate with you. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in Breathe out. Return to normal breathing. Invoke your healing masters, healing guides, healing angels, your higher consciousness, radical consciousness, love consciousness, prosperity consciousness, your teachers, mentors, gurus, and guides. Seek their assurance, seek their guidance, seek their support to help you master many of the emotions that get reflected on your face in such a way that you feel complete and you feel fulfilled without judgment, so that your journey as you continue to grow and follow your life plan becomes easy and effortless as you connect to the prime resource energy. Collect all your personal thoughts and emotions wherever they are scattered in the universe. See them integrating into you, giving you a sense of completion. And when you feel complete, take a deep breath and recite with me. I archive my need for faith. I archive my need for faith. I archive my need for faith. I archive my oaths, vows, and promises. I archive my oaths, vows, and promises. I archive my oaths, vows, and promises. I archive my need to be liberated. I archive my need to be liberated. I archive my need to be liberated. I archive my resistance to be liberated. I archive my resistance to be liberated. I archive my resistance to be liberated. I archive my need to liberate. I archive my need to liberate. I archive my need to liberate. I archive my feeling of being disliked and disapproved. I archive my feeling of being disliked and disapproved. I archive my feeling of being disliked and disapproved. Now, for the next one, think of either a person or a situation or anything that is foremost bothering you in your life. I will leave it half and you complete it in your mind. I archive my disapproval of. I archive my disapproval of. I archive my disapproval of. IR5, my reason for disapproval of. IR5, my reason for disapproval of. IR5, my reason for disapproval of. IR5, my confusion, conflict, and indecisiveness. IR5, my confusion, conflict, and indecisiveness. IR5, my conflict, confusion, and indecisiveness. IR5, my confusion and conflict in my action plans. IR5, my confusion and conflict in my action plans. IR5, my confusion and conflicts in my action plan. IR5, my inability to apply what I learned. IR5, my inability to apply what I learned. IR5, my inability to apply what I learned. IR5, my inability to apply the inner awareness and knowledge. IR5, my inability to apply the inner awareness and knowledge. IR5, the inability to apply the inner awareness and knowledge. IR5, my resistance to apply the inner awareness and knowledge. IR5, the resistance to apply the inner awareness and knowledge. IR5, the resistance to apply the inner awareness and knowledge. IR5, the sensitivity to others' expressions. IR5, my sensitivity to others' expressions. IR5, my sensitivity to others' expressions. IR5, my need for freedom to express, question, or assert. IR5, my need for freedom to express, question, or assert. IR5, my need for freedom to express, as question, or assert. IR5, my need for neutral observation of the outer inconsistencies around me. IR5, my need for neutral observation of the outer inconsistencies around me. IR5, my need for neutral observation for the outer inconsistencies around me. IR5, my need for neutral observation of my inner inconsistencies. IR5, my need for neutral observation of my inner inconsistencies. IR5, my need for neutral observation of my inner inconsistencies. I archive my feeling of being betrayed, cheated, or let down. I archive my feeling of being betrayed, cheated, or let down. I archive my feeling of being betrayed, cheated, or let down. I archive my feeling of lacking integrity with myself, my higher self, or others. I archive my feeling of lacking integrity for myself, my higher self, or others. I archive my feeling of lacking integrity for myself, my higher self, or others. I archive my need for correction in my perceptions. I archive my need for corrections in my perceptions. I archive my need for corrections in my perception. I archive being image conscious. I archive being image conscious. I archive being image conscious. I archive my reasons for my image consciousness. I archive my reasons for my image consciousness. I archive my reasons for my image consciousness. I archive my need for neutrality towards external inconsistencies. I archive my need for neutrality towards external inconsistencies. I archive my need for neutrality towards external inconsistencies. I archive my need for neutrality towards my shadow self. I archive my need for neutrality towards my shadow self. I archive my need for neutrality towards my shadow self. I archive my past grief due to outer circumstances. I archive my past grief due to outer circumstances. I archive my past grief due to outer circumstances. I archive my internal grief due to wrong decisions or actions taken in the past. I archive my internal grief due to wrong decisions or actions taken in the past. I archive my internal grief due to wrong decisions or actions taken in the past. I archive my need to remain cheerful, irrespective of outer circumstances. I archive my need to remain cheerful, irrespective of outer circumstances. I archive my need to remain cheerful, irrespective of outer circumstances. IR5, my need to communicate with diplomacy. IR5, my need to communicate with diplomacy. IR5, my need to communicate with diplomacy. IR5, my feeling of not being appreciated and being undervalued. IR5, my feeling of not being appreciated and being undervalued. IR5, my feeling of not being appreciated and being undervalued. IR5, my need to value myself and others. IR5, my need to value myself and others. IR5, my need to value myself and others. IR5, my resistance to value myself and others. IR5, my resistance to value myself and others. IR5, my resistance to value myself and others. IR5, my suppressed rage against others' rage. IR5, my suppressed rage against others' rage. IR5, my suppressed rage against others' rage. IR5, my suppressed rage. IR5, my suppressed rage. IR5, my suppressed rage. IR5, my reasons for my suppressed rage. IR5, the reasons for my suppressed rage. IR5, the reasons for my suppressed rage. IR5, my resistance to let go of my suppressed rage. IR5, my resistance to let go of my suppressed rage. IR5, my resistance to let go of my suppressed rage. IR5, my reluctance to listen to others. IR5, my reluctance to listen to others. IR5, my reluctance to listen to others. IR5, my reluctance to listen to my inner voice. IR5, my reluctance to listen to my inner voice. IR5, my reluctance to listen to my inner voice. IR5, my need to admit my mistakes to others. IR5, my need to admit my mistakes to others. IR5, my need to admit my mistakes to others. IR5, my need to admit to mistakes to myself. IR5, my need to admit the mistakes to myself. IR5, my need to admit the mistakes to myself. IR5, my need to be sensitive to others' irritation. IR5, my need to be sensitive to others' irritation. IR5, my need to be sensitive to others' irritation. IR5, my irritability. IR5, my irritability. IR5, my irritability. IR5, my reasons for irritability. IR5, my reasons for irritability. IR5, my reasons for irritability. IR5, my resistance to let go of my irritability. IR5, my resistance to let go of my irritability. IR5, my resistance to let go of my irritability. IR5, my inhibitions in receiving resources. IR5, my inhibitions in receiving resources. IR5, my inhibitions in receiving resources. IR5, my inhibitions in channeling resources. IR5, my inhibitions in channeling resources. IR5, my inhibitions in channeling resources. IR5, my reluctance to be popular. IR5, my reluctance to be popular. IR5, my reluctance to be popular. IR5, my need to overcome the effects of devastation. IR5, my need to overcome the effects of devastation. IR5, my need to overcome the effects of devastation. IR5, my need to accept my earth-bound existence. IR5, my need to accept my earth-bound existence. IR5, my need to accept my earth-bound existence. IR5, my feeling of being abused or unfairly taken advantage of. IR5, my need, my feeling of being abused or unfairly taken advantage of. IR5, feeling of being abused and unfairly taken advantage of. IR5, suppressing the desire to abuse or being unfair to self or others. IR5, suppressing the desire to abuse or being unfair to self or others. IR5, suppressing the desire to abuse or being unfair to self or others. IR5, my need for confidentiality. IR5, my need for confidentiality. IR5, my need for confidentiality. identify the effect of the curses and adverse statements made by others. identify the effect of the curses or adverse statements made by others. identify the effect of curses or adverse statements made by others. IR5, my reserved distress towards others' anger. IR5, my distress towards others' anger. IR5, my distress towards others' anger. IR5, my reserved anger at self or others. IR5, my reserved anger towards myself or others. IR5, my reserved anger towards myself or others. IR5, my need for inner wisdom. IR5, my need for inner wisdom. IR5, my need for inner wisdom. IR5, my need to be grateful towards the external grounding factors. IR5, my need to be grateful towards the external grounding factors. IR5, my need to be grateful towards the external grounding factors. IR5, my need to be grateful to the internal grounding factors. IR5, my need to be grateful towards the internal grounding factors. IR5, my need to be grateful towards the internal grounding factors. Take a deep breath. Absorb all the messages, affirmations for each of your face chakras. See them responding, resonating with the statements and affirmations made. Feel them clearing up when you have allowed yourself to surrender to the process. And as they clear up, sense that feeling of lightness and the throbbing in the other chakras of your body as the flow of energy travels from your face down to each and every cell, fiber, muscle, tissue, organ of your body, and also in your mind, body, and soul. Stay with this feeling of fulfillment and completion. Absorb it fully. And then take a deep breath and recite with me. I see my face chakras. I feel my face chakras. I acknowledge my face chakras. I love and accept my face chakras. I honor my face chakras. I honor the brilliance in my face chakras. I am my face chakras, and my face chakras are me. I see my face chakras. I feel my face chakras. I acknowledge my face chakras. I love and accept my face chakras. I honor my face chakras. I honor the brilliance in my face chakras. I am my face chakras, and my face chakras are me. Take a deep breath. Sense these messages filling up all the 7 chakras, major chakras of your body. And when you feel complete, take another deep breath to absorb it. Rub your face, rub your eyes, rub your bodies tenderly with your palms. And when you feel totally relaxed and complete, you can open your eyes. Take your time. Yes, Revati, you have a question.
Yeah, that suppressed rage, my resistance to expression of my suppressed rage. So, how do you express suppressed rage?
You don't have to express it, you have to let go of it.
How do we do that?
Well, that is what radical is all about. When you keep working on it, I R5 my suppressed rage, I R5 my need for suppressed rage, I R5 my reasons for suppressed rage, I R5 my resistance to let go of my suppressed rage. The more you keep working on it, there would be a point where you'd realize that what you were holding on was futile. But if you want to hang on to it, resist letting it go, then who are you helping? Not yourself.
Mm,
All that we suppress is our thoughts. It's our, the other person may have done something which is okay. We have to develop
mm,
that neutrality. That's fine. It was part of your learning. It was supposed to come in your space. Okay.
mm,
But then beyond
mm,
holding on, that means you're holding on the grudges, you're holding on the resentments, you're holding on anger, you're holding on so many things. And
mm,
anytime, sorry, anytime something surfaces, you would go off, you means anybody would go off into a complete, spill of you did this and this is what happened and this is what I'm going through, etc. Is it needed?
mm,
As you grow, in your spiritual space, as
mm,
you grow, allowing yourself to elevate and connect more with yourself, then these things start seeming irrelevant and you have to let go. But if you keep holding on to it, who are you helping?
mm,
And it's affecting not only you and everybody else around you. It would,
mm.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Happened in your life was part of your soul's need to experience whatever you have gone through.
Mm,
It may be also karmically that some things or people or situations are there with you. They are pre-programmed. Okay?
mm, mm,
Holding on to the rage, what are you doing? You're creating more karma for yourself.
mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does,
Thank you, sir.
does that help you?
Yeah, I still have a lot of doubts, but I'll get back to you.
What level are you doing with us, Revati?
I finished my level 2. I want to do the level 3.
That's when you'll get all your answers because that is at the soul level. Level 3
Uh,
is at soul level. Level 2
mm,
is body level. Okay?
mm,
But the
okay.
more you read all these statements and understand and look up the chakras on the face in your
Mm,
or on the app, you'll
mm.
understand, each association and why it is happening. You'll get the answers from your book also. Your curriculum book, that
Yeah, I have
why
it.
this is there.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
look up the suppressed rage and you'll understand. Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Yes, Ramya.
Ma'am, it was wonderful. For the first time, I would say that I went into a very deep sleep.
Awesome. That's great.
I
Good.
had one more question, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I you know it actually. I have a mother-in-law who is slightly going through a
Okay.
dementia. Okay. Now, I have never shared a great relationship with my mother-in-law,
Mm.
but now what is happening is, she is blaming me for stealing away her medicines.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, I understand. I read a lot and I know that these accusations, false accusations, and brain atrophy, there is a deep connection. But she has left everybody else under the sun, and I am becoming the target.
Okay.
And so we have made her wear those keychains on her, like in a chain, so that, she doesn't misplace it and, allegate others for it. Though I understand it is a condition, I feel a lot of resistance when she blames me. It's not like, I'm like a sage saying, let go, let go. It really hurts initially.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Ramya, it's a very simple thing. You
Huh,
have traveled how many years with her in terms of your marriage?
21. This is my 21st year.
Right. So 21 years of your life, you have lived with whatever situations may have come up, relationship issues may have come up. And over time, there are certain, again, we decide how we think of the other person, right? She's cruel, she's horrible, she's only bad to me. I'm just saying it, I'm not saying it's true. I'm making a statement here. Or she's, always just concerned. She's never shown any consideration towards me. So we built all this up inside us all the time. So what have we done? Our aura has absorbed all of this. These are the frequencies and vibrations at which we have operated and are operating vis-a-vis the, let's say, mother-in-law. Okay. So whenever the person comes in front of you or you meet the person, magnetically, those reasons that are stored inside you are what are making her respond to you because that is what you have attracted. Okay, try and
I
understand.
understand, but at the same time, I feel so bad for her. There is a lot of empathy, but
Yeah,
I'm not able to help her because she's feeling threatened with my presence.
yeah. So what has happened is you have to let go of whatever thoughts, feelings, emotions you have or had against her. Okay, not against her, about her. Okay, so whatever there is, you may think you've got rid of it, but as I said earlier at one of our meetings here, that it is possible that we think that we have let go, but that is not true. Remnants remain. There are remnants, and that is what affects us, and that is what interferes in every process as it has to go through its cycle. It comes up. It's like, you have boiled all the milk, you have removed all the malai on top, but then when you go back again and boil a little more of the same milk, there is more malai on it. It may be thinner, but it is still there. Correct? So what happens is similarly, we may think that we have got rid of everything. So it really takes a lot of effort. And thirdly, I did mention last time, I don't know if you were here, we all need to start learning to operate from the fulcrum level, top of the merry-go-round. Because if you continue to remain at the merry-go-round level, all you will see is the horse in front of you, the horse behind you, and everything running, outside, whatever you see would be going in fast speed. So you will not have a correct perception. But if you're sitting at top of the fulcrum and looking down, then you see everything. You see the merry-go-round, you see the people, you see how situations are, you see where you are, etc. And you are already reaching there because you said you have a lot of empathy for her. And that is not only just because of her condition. Just think of it that it was a journey that you had to go through with her. Just let go of all that. Once you
And
let
man, trust me, I have already seen this as a child. My grandfather was an Alzheimer's patient and he blamed my father.
so you see,
I've seen it.
Well,
And but my father was able to unconditionally let it go because he was his own child, and there was a lot of love between them.
no, but don't think of it as because if it's only the own child, only then it'll happen. Think of it as fine. This person has come into your life to give you those experiences to prepare you for maybe something else you don't know. Right? So it's a gratitude that you have to have that because the soul, as I said, the soul has chosen these experiences to go through. So don't blame the body of Ramya and the mind of Ramya for that. To go because physically you are the one, because when you're gone, when you're no more in this world, who remains? Nobody. The soul is gone. Only the body of Ramya is going to be mixing with the earth again, becoming part of earth again. So if she is in your space, rise beyond. And as you said, you went into deep this thing today. So it is all in the face of whatever you are getting from her or giving to her. Okay? So just take it as a child because dementia means what? She's becoming a child now. So allow the process to happen and just let go. Surrender. See, try it. It'll take time, of course. But then with your radical with you, all the affirmations with you, all the mentors with you, you'll be able to navigate this path. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Feeling much better.
Good, good. Yes, Seema? Seema, you had a question? You raised your hand?
No, just a lot of gratitude. Thank you so much for all the effort you took. Each face chakra you covered, and I mean, you did the whole body. But like today, while we were reciting, the gratitude was just like I was feeling so emotional that look at what she's done for us. I was like so overwhelming. Ki, you know, thank you for being there. Thank you. Just that.
Lot of love. Thank you, Seema. But then this is all divined, this is divined by someone up there that we need to go through it collectively. So it is the collective consciousness that is at work. So just be at ease and just take whatever the universe is giving you. This is all guided.
Yes.
Today
Thank you.
is
Thank you.
completed.
Thank you. Yes.
The
Do everything.
Yeah, great. And I think everybody needed this benefit. So the universe guided us to go through this whole program, right? Anybody else have any question or anything?
Thank you for being the medium.
Thank Radical for being the medium. Yeah,
No, everything I said, no,
yeah,
radical at you. I mean, whatever the channel was. But yes, you were the medium to reach it to us.
yeah. And you were the
Right.
person who were meant to receive it. That's why you're here. Otherwise, we have so many people in the group, but only the people who are here receive it. Others only get the recitation, the reading of it in terms of
Blessed. I'm blessed.
Okay, I'm just reading the chat. Good morning, Snigdha, Ramya, thank you. Srividya, thank you. Pavitra, Aruna, Usha, thank you. Sheetal, thank you. Revati, Manisha, thank you. Sagri, Kripa, Shweta, and Kripa says, Parmeet says, very grateful to Masters to be on this platform. Yes, we are all very grateful. And thank you everyone for being here. And see you tomorrow again at 10 a.m. for lucid reading. So come prepared. I know the hands will already be raised before I reach. So all the best. Have a great day and see you tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye.